Mrs. Morin spent 1/4 of her monthly income at a shopping mall, 1/3 at an open market, and 2/5 of the remaining amount at a mechanic workshop. If she had 225,000 naira left, the question asks is to find Roman 1 her monthly income and Roman 2 the amount spent at the open market. And these are the two questions we are asked to answer from this question. So let me attempt to do that. Solution to this: if I go back to the question again, this Mrs. Morin, 1/4 of her income, she spent that income at the shopping mall, and 1/3 of it at the open market, and 2/5 of the remaining amount. Remaining amount after what she spent in the shopping mall and what she spent in the open market, what remains, 2/5 of it was now spent at the mechanic workshop. And after finish all the spendings, she had 225,000 naira left with her. So the question is to find her monthly income. What will be her total income? So let me attempt to do that. So if I let X to be her total income, her total monthly income, let it be X. X is her total monthly income. So let me get all those fractions. So total amount she spent at the mall and the open market, it says 1/4 of the income was in the shopping mall and 1/3 at the open market. So total amount she spent in those two places, mall and open market, will now be equals to X/4, because X is the total income and it says 1/4 of the income, so it will be X/4. This will be the amount she spent in the mall, plus X/3, 1/3 in the open market. So X/3 will now be amount she spent in the open market. So adding this, X/4 plus X/3 will have 7X/12. LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. So 4 in 12 is 3. 3 times X, 3X. 3 in 12 is 4. 4 times X is 4X. So at the up, you have 3X plus 4X. That will give answer 7X over your LCM. So this is the total amount she spent in the mall and in the open market. So if I continue, let me get the remaining amount after these two spendings, mall and open market, because he says 2/5 of the remaining, so we have to get the remaining. It's 2/5 of it that was spent in the mechanic workshop. So let me get the remaining. This is the total. So I will now subtract from total income, that is X. I will subtract what she spent in those two places. So X minus 7X/12. LCM is 12. This X is over 1. 1 in 12 is 12. 12 times X, 12X, minus 12 in 12, 1 times 7X, 7X. So you have 12X minus 7X. That will give answer 5X. So what remains is 5X/12. And this will be the remaining after spending in the mall and in the open market. So I can now go ahead and find the fraction spent in the mechanic workshop. So spent at the mechanic workshop, which the question says 2/5 of this remaining. 2/5 of 5X/12. So I have 2/5 multiplied by 5X/12. This will now be the fraction spent in the mechanic workshop. So this will now give answer 5 will cancel 5. 2 in 12 will be 6. So we have nothing but X/6. This is the fraction spent at the mechanic workshop. But after these spendings, after these 3 spendings, spending at the mall, spending at the open market, spending at the workshop, these 3 spendings, she is left with 225,000 naira. So let me use that. So amount left, that is the fraction left. So amount left with her after these 3 spendings, that is spending at the mall, spending at the open market, and spending at the workshop. The amount left with her, let me get that fraction. It will now be X, that is her total income, subtract the amount that she spent in the mall, amount she spent in the open market, amount spent in the mechanic workshop. So I'm going to subtract these three spendings from her total income. I'll have the fraction, so that fraction will be x. The bracket will be nothing but 9x all over 12. LCM of 4, 3 and 6 is 12. So 4 in 12 is 3, 3 times x, 3x. 3 in 12 is 4, 4 times x is 4x, so I have 3x plus 4x. Then 6 in 12 is 2 times x is 2x, so I have 3x plus 4x plus 2x. That will give answer 9x all over 12. And subtracting 9x over 12, LCM is still 12. So I have here a 1 in 12. 12 times x, 12x minus 9x, it will be 3x, and 3x over 12x reduced to simpler form will be x all over 4. So this is the fractions that remains after all the three spendings. But that amount is given. She is left with 225 naira after all the three spendings. So let me get x. So I have the fraction left, which is x over 4, is equals to the amount left with her, which is 225,000 naira. So cross multiplying here, I will have x as 900,000 naira. So 900,000 naira is her total income for that month. So question Roman 1 has now been answered. So I'll move ahead and answer Roman 2. Roman 2 says the amount spent at the open market only. And the question is says 1 over 4 of her monthly income was spent at the shopping mall, and 1 over 3 was spent at the open market. So we are interested in this Roman 2, the amount spent at the open market. So x is now 900,000. So amount spent at the open market, which is 1 over 3 of this 900,000 naira. So we'll now have x over 3, that is the fraction spent at the open market, which is this one. So I'm going to replace the x by 900. That will be 900 divided by 3. With 900,000 divided by 3, this answer is going to be 300,000 naira. So the amount spent at the open market is now 300,000 naira. With this, I have answered this question. So let's see the mark distribution for this according to the Waec marking scheme. And the mark distribution is as follows. The first mark is attempting to get the remaining amount after the two spendings. After the two spendings, spending at the mall, spending at the open market, subtracting that from her income. Attempting to do that, you have the method mark. And getting that answer accurately as 5x over 12, you have the A1 mark. And getting the amount, the fraction spent at the mechanic as x over 6, you have the bonus 1 mark there. And getting the fraction left after all the three spendings, you have the bonus mark. If you have it as x over 4, you have that bonus 1 mark also. And writing this equation, meaning the equation for the amount remain, the fraction remain equals to the amount remain. Writing that equation correctly, you have the method 1 mark. And getting x, meaning her monthly income as 900,000 naira accurately, you have the A1 mark. Then the next mark is trying to get the amount spent at the open market, where you divide the total amount by 3, meaning 1 over 3 of that amount, you have the method mark 1. And the final result for that amount spent at the open market as 300,000 naira accurately, if you have it, you have the A1 mark. So in total there are 8 marks according to the Waec official marking scheme to this very question.